Hello, this is Steven Primo, and welcome to this week's Primo Trades. Now, in this brief educational video, we're going to talk about the Fed announcement this week to raise interest rates and how it could have helped you actually have a successful trade. A few things I'm going to teach you today would have actually been in sync with the market and been able to generate some winning trades using these simple methods. Now, let's start out with today's theme. Being out of sync with the market is at the root of all your losses. I know a lot of you think, well, the root of all my losses is I was on the wrong side of the announcement for interest rates, or maybe I had the earnings picked incorrectly, or maybe I listened to that so-called guru on TV and he hasn't been right ever since I started trading off his announcements. That's really not the reason for your losses. It's because you're out of sync with whatever market, whatever time frame you're trading. Think of it. If you're buying something and the market continues to go lower, you're simply out of sync with what the market wants to do, and you're going to suffer some losses. Conversely, if the market wants to go higher and you sell into that, you're going to result in some losses because you are out of sync with what the market wants to do. It has nothing to do with the interest rates, has nothing to do with earnings or what some signal is in some chat room. It's because you're out of sync. So the first thing you have to do is learn how to be in sync. And then once you realize what the market wants to do, put some structure together in the form of a strategy to trade in sync with the market. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to show you how simple it is to apply this process on our platform, the PTS Primo charting platform that actually teaches you how to trade. Okay, so let's start out by looking at what happened this week. Let's look at some charts here on our platform. And let's start out with the spiders. That's the ETF that represents the S&P 500. Okay, now here's where the news came out on the 21st and the market went straight down. All right. So how could we have been in sync prior to that announcement? First thing we do is on our platform, click on buy sell line, click on one of the features, which is fluid. And the way this works is anything above the fluid buy sell line in the blue buy zone means that we should look for some buy structure. We should apply a buy strategy. Anything below in the red sell zone means we should apply a sell strategy. All right. I'm going to introduce you now to a strategy I've been trading now for over 4 decades. The first strategy I learned from my mentors on the floor of the exchange, and that's strategy number 4. It's based on a pattern that repeats itself over and over again in any market and any time frame. And it's structured to only trade in sync with the market. So on our platform, it's as simple as coming up here to strategy 4, clicking on signal arrows, and you'll see that a full week in advance, a sell signal was generated, okay? So we knew this entire time, regardless of what the interest rate number was going to be, that we should be looking at it from a sell point of view and that we should not jump into any buying. And then secondly, we already were short in place. Now, here's another added feature we have with our strategies. On our platform, you can double click on the arrow, and if you decide to use this method, it will generate exit levels. As we see right here, here was the first initial exit level that was generated. You would have used this if you wanted to exit right away. In fact, if you're the type of trader that likes to get in and out quickly, you'd use the first 2 exit levels. If you think the market's going to go lower, you would exercise these 2 lower levels. So you see how simple trading can be. Let's go to a smaller time frame. Let's go to a 4-hour chart of the spiders, the same exact market. Here's where the signal was generated. If we applied the buy sell line, well, we knew well in advance that the market wanted to go lower. So why should we even consider, regardless of what the Fed announcement was, to go long? We should look at that as a selling opportunity. And if we wanted to apply some structure in the form of strategy 4, well, guess what? We had a signal in place to go short days in advance. And then another one was generated the day that the interest rate signal was given. Let's go to a smaller time frame. An hour chart on the spiders. Here's where the announcement came out and the market went down, then back up. A lot of traders said, hey, that's the bottom, let's buy, right? Because that must be good news. And then was quickly followed by a downward move. How could being in sync with the market have helped us? Well, we applied the buy sell line, the fluid, and even when the market bounced lower and then went back up, we knew that that was a selling opportunity, not a buying opportunity, because we were still in the red sell zone. Now, if we wanted to apply some structure in the form of strategy 4, well, look at this. Full 4 or 5 hours in advance, we had a sell signal, and then another sell signal was generated the hour after the announcement came out. Now, this not only works on the downside, let's look at FREY, right? Okay, we've seen that we've had some nice movement this past week. How could we have taken advantage of that? Well, For the last 2 weeks, it's been in the buy zone. So we knew we should only be a buyer. There's no surprise to us that it wanted to go higher if we applied strategy number 4. Look at the 2 buy signals that were generated days in advance. If we look at SABA right here, same process. We have a really nice run up in this. In fact, it continues to go higher. With the buy sell line, it's funny how this has told us in advance that the market wanted to go higher by being in the blue buy zone. There's no reason to go to a chat room, a trading room, or to listen to some earnings report or some financial report. The market was telling us as far back as mid-August that it wanted to go higher. So all we have to do is apply some structure in the form of strategy number 4, and look at the buy signals that were generated, telling us it was most likely going to be going higher. Now this, you could have purchased this roughly around 27, 28. The stock is now trading in the 50s. If we look at SPRO, Sapporo, same exact thing happened. It was basically doing nothing and then shot up, I assume off some announcement, right? But it's funny, if we applied the fluid buy sell line, the market, not some announcement, the market was telling us weeks in advance, the beginning of September, that it wanted to go higher because it was in the blue buy zone. If we applied structure in the form of strategy number 4, we also had 2 buy signals generated days in advance of that. If we're a currency pair trader, the same process can be applied to the Canadian dollar. Or if we're looking at weekly cryptos, here's a weekly Bitcoin. We all know Bitcoin's been going lower. Well, on a weekly basis, it was telling us it wanted to go lower as far back as the beginning of the year. So all we had to do was apply some sell signals, which continue to be generated. So you see the simplicity of learning to be in sync with the market. And then once you're in sync, to apply a highly consistent strategy that can trade in sync with that. This is all easily accessible on our platform, the PTS Primo charting platform that actually teaches you how to trade. So for more information on the buy sell line, getting you in sync with the market, or strategy number 4, or any of the techniques or methods that I've accumulated in my 45 years of trading that are on our platform, contact my sister site, Pro Trader Strategies. They're in charge of all the pricing and discounts. I would highly recommend giving them a call at area code 310-598-6677. They have trading consultants manning the phones. They'd be happy to answer any questions and to give you more information. Also, you can click the link below for more information and go to an info page. As we take a look at our disclaimer, I just want to thank you for watching this brief educational video. I hope you learned something and see how easy it is to trade once you get out of your own way and learn how to listen to the market. Thanks a lot for listening. I'll see you in next week's Primo Trades.